Well, hello everyone. Big welcome to today's live class. Seems ages since we've done a demonstration class. So listen, to get this party started, because I have something really nice planned for you this evening, I need you to comment below, where are you watching from, what's the weather like, and have you any news or have you any scandal. So what are we going to do today? Today I'm going to use this wire armature, and I've actually made this myself. I've made this from scratch. It's kind of an old-fashioned idea. It's something we used to use years ago, but it's gas like everything. I'm letting you know my age now, but everything from the olden days has all come back into vogue again. And I suppose with sustainability and environmentally friendly, even though this is made with wire, by the way, everybody is looking for alternative methods, I suppose, to using plastic containers, etc. So what am I going to do today? I'm going to show you how to make a bouquet of flowers using one of these wire armatures. And you might say to yourself, why would you bother your arse making one of these or using one of these? Wait till you see how few flowers I can get away with using by using one of these frames. And again, like, I've no shortage of flowers here today. I can use absolutely loads of them, I can. But you'll see, even when I just put 1 or 2 or 3 flowers in, you'll say, oh my God, like that actually. Well, hopefully you'll say that. Oh my God, that looks amazing with so few flowers. So the main advantage of using this particular armature is that I can get away with using a couple of flowers, like very little flowers if I want to, and put as many in as I want, but I can make the bouquet look really big. And again, for any of my students that are watching, you can do this in bridal as well. And again, you can make this on a slightly smaller scale, and you can make it more decorative. I kind of like, well, I suppose it is spend a little bit of time doing it. And I suppose you're watching and you're waiting and you're saying, how did you make that, Janette? Well, listen, a bit of time went into it. So what I've done, you know me, I've done a step-by-step tutorial from start to finish, giving you the full breakdown and description of what gauge wires, where I got them, how I gutta taped them, and how I actually made this base, okay? But what I've done to confuse you, okay, is I'm trying to get a few more followers over on my YouTube channel. So I'm after posting that video over on our YouTube channel. Now, don't worry about going over now. Watch how I'm going to make the bouquet, and then later on, tonight or tomorrow, whenever you get a chance, pop over to our YouTube channel, search Case Flower School, and by the way, there's hundreds and hundreds of videos over there, but this is one of the latest ones that I've just posted, how to make the wire armature, and you can watch it in detail. It's in live time, so if it took me 25 minutes to make it, it'll take you 25 minutes to make it. So again, you can time it. Like, well, I don't believe in any of that fast forwarding stuff, you know, that way. Like, watch exactly when something goes wrong. It's good to see it going wrong. Now, you can make them very decorative. Mine looks decorative enough, you know what I mean? But you can make them even nicer than that, you can, if you have the patience. I don't have the patience for something like that. And you can allow this to show. And you know the way at the moment, like, the trend is very little foliage or no foliage. But listen, if you know me, I love foliage. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not mad about that trend of no foliage. I still like a bit of foliage in my bouquets or in my items, whatever I'm making. But again, anyone that's watching there and you would prefer to do it without foliage, well, then this can show. And you can use white gutta tape. So when you're making it, and again, I have that covered over in the YouTube tutorial, you can use your white gutta tape to make it. Now, flower wise, listen, spoiled for choice for flowers today. I hope you all have your notebook and pen ready, that you're taking down some notes as I go along. And I would love if Celine or Noreen or any of my secretaries are watching there, that they'll do a little bit of tagging. Now, the girl that I went to get these flowers is, first of all, she's a woman. She's based in Ireland, and she's an Irish flower farmer. And she set up her company just over 4 years ago. But as she said, it's really, this is her 4th year, and it's really only taken off, and it's really coming together. And listen, as a woman, we're all about supporting women. So her name is Grania, and her business is called Gra, G-R-A. I think there's a fada over it, I'm not really sure. I think Gra means love, doesn't it? Somebody correct me there in the comments. But Gra Cut Flowers is the name of her business. Now, she's not on Facebook. That's the unfortunate thing. I've told her to set up a Facebook page, but she is on Instagram. So maybe Celine or one of the girls there might get the Instagram link, and they'll put it in the comments there. And I would absolutely love if you popped over, follow their page, and give her a little bit of support. As I always say to the students, there's no point in just following a page. You need to interact with it. So look for the last couple of posts that she has up showing whatever flowers that she's grown, and give her a thumbs up, give her a heart, say that they're lovely, or say well done Grania. Or do you know what you can do? It's been her birthday recently, and it's been a big birthday, so you could just pop over and you could just say to her happy birthday. And like if there is anybody watching that would be interested in buying Irish grown flowers, now remember it depends on the time of the year, and it depends what's in season, and also it depends on the weather. And as they said to us, I don't know around the rest of the world, but definitely in Ireland, like the weather hasn't been great this summer so far anyway. Hopefully we'll have a change very soon. So everything is that little bit later. But like the other day when I was there, which was only yesterday by the way, she had amazing Sweet William. And like the price of it is just unbelievable. Get in touch with her, she sells wholesale. But this is the Sweet William there, absolutely fantastic. The scent of it is beautiful. And because it's so fresh, because you're literally buying from the grower where she has picked it out of the ground. So it's not like it has to come from Holland, like, you know, go through the UK, come on another boat all the way over to Ireland, go to a wholesaler, you know, go through the works there in the wholesaler, and then get sold to you. Or then maybe go to the flower shop. You will find that the stuff is so much fresher, and it is going to last longer. And if you buy the Sweet William direct from the grower, you'll get 3 weeks out of it, no problem. Change the water every day. What I also have is some amazing Sweet Pea, and the white one, oh my god, if you could smell it here, it's absolutely beautiful. Really strong scented. But I loved the wine one, that still is scented but not as strong. I just thought that colour was beautiful, and I thought then with the Sweet William it would be a beautiful flower to use. She had a couple of Alstomary, she just cut a lot of it, so there wasn't much. So I just got a couple of them. Isn't that colour beautiful? So I got a couple of stems of Alstomary off her, and also I got some peonies. So again, we're just coming to the end, or she is anyway. She's just coming to the end of her peony season, but she still has, like there was still a good few buds, so I got a few of them there yesterday. Still a good few buds that still have to come out. So again, you could be lucky enough, and the handiest thing to do is go over to her Instagram page, her phone number is there, or drop her an Instagram message and ask her what has she happened to have in stock. Now because we were using Irish grown flowers, we said we better use Irish grown foliage. So the foliage that I'm using is from Deirdre's garden. So this is just rosemary. So the scent of this, you think now I was making dinner here. So again, I just cleaned off the stems, and this will be beautiful in the bouquets. Even in a wedding bouquet, this will be fabulous. And Deirdre has ruscus grown. This is soft ruscus. Now Irish Green guys, they actually gave her, they don't sell plants by the way, but they did give Deirdre as a present. So when they were planting their soft ruscus there about 5-6 years ago, I think it was before COVID, they sent Deirdre up a couple of the plants, and she's nursing them along. And again, this is the soft ruscus from her plants, and I cleaned off all the end of it. But you can buy soft ruscus from your local florist, and again, any of our flower shops that are watching there, you can buy it in from your local wholesaler suppliers. Again, you can get Italian ruscus, Dutch ruscus, and so on. But again, if you can get the Irish or the British soft ruscus, definitely support your own. Another thing that I'm going to use a couple of is the fatsia leaves. And I know last week and we had great crack and great feedback where I showed how to wire the backs of the fatsia leaves. So again, if you haven't seen me do that, pop back through the Facebook post and you'll find it. And also last week I showed you how to curl up the cordyline leaves, so I'm going to use a couple of them. So basically everything is guaranteed Irish. It's a guaranteed Irish bouquet, except for the wires. The wires came in from the UK. They're actually Oasis, they're Smithers Oasis. And again, for any of our students that are watching, past students or present or future students, all our students get access to our student resource, which is our resource mentoring group, basically on our not on our Facebook page, on our website. So our website is www.caseflowerschool.com. And you'll see a button called Student Resource. But when you're a student here at the school, you get a login and a password. And you have access to that forever and ever and ever, as long as we're still breathing anyway. You'll have access to it. And this is where one section of the student resource is all about wholesalers. And every wholesaler from Russia to Poland to America to Australia to New Zealand, we have all our wholesalers listed there. And again, it gives you a description of what they sell, the rep's name, the rep's email address, the rep's phone number, and we're updating it all the time. But a lot of wholesalers offer us a discount, and Oasis has a special discount for the students of Case Flower School, and all the details and the discount code is all over in the student resource. So again, if you're buying your wires in from Smithers Oasis, use the discount code, you'll save an absolute fortune. Okay, I better shut up talking and better get started now. You know what I mean? Somebody will start giving out in the comments, will she ever shut up and start? So this wouldn't be your typical spiral bouquet. And obviously this is a demonstration. It's not actually a class. So I always kind of cover myself there, right? Now, it is actually a class making the wire frame. So when you pop over to YouTube, you will actually get all the little tricks on making the wire frame. But like today is kind of like more about just kind of giving you ideas. But like lots of you there are probably saying, God, you'd love to learn how to do a spiral bouquet. Like, do you know that we actually have a standalone hand-tied bouquet workshop? And again, it's online. You can do it from anywhere in the world. And it literally shows you from start to finish exactly how to make hand ties. We cover right-handed hand ties and we cover the lefties, because I always kind of find left-handed people are always ignored and nobody kind of like worries about them. So we actually have a left-handed tutorial, again, for anyone that is left-handed and they want to learn how to make hand ties. And if you live in Ireland, I can actually post you out a free sundry kit to go with it. So you'll have your porto boxes, your hand-tied string, your ribbon, your organza, your brown paper, your cellophane. It'll all be included in the price. Now there's no fresh flowers included, but it does give you a breakdown of exactly what flowers we're using, and so then it's easy to work out your cost price if you're trying to copy it, that you know exactly how many flowers that you need. So you can see this is going to be very informal and very wild. And as I said there earlier, if you choose not to use foliage, you can leave the foliage out. So I have these beautiful peonies, and as I said, these peonies came from Grawcut Flowers, and I'm just submerging, or you know, recessing one of them down just that little bit lower down into the frame. And if you're not using foliage, you'll find it's a great way of getting coverage. And again, this beautiful white one, but I'm going to allow this one to kind of like bounce up just that little bit higher. And maybe she's loads of different varieties of the peonies, so again, maybe one or two just coming out to the side. And you can see the way sometimes I use the underneath of the armature, as I did just there, and other times I'm actually inserting down in between the little holes that I made. So like so far I've only got 3 peonies in that bouquet, and just to kind of give you an idea what it actually looks like. What I now want to include is a couple of the buds, because obviously it's nice for the customer. It is great to get the impact of them beautiful flowers, but it is nice for the customer to be able to see some of the peonies opening themselves, you know, the way, and get the pleasure of watching them open. And again, do you know what, you're missing out so much that you're watching this on your laptop or on your phone that you're not actually getting the scent. Now again, as I said, you can see there how big I'm able to make it. I've only got 6 peonies in it, 3 tight ones and 3 open ones, and look at the mileage that you get. If I added in another bit of greenery, I could nearly leave it like that. And again, when the sunflowers are available, which there is some available at the moment, this would be a beautiful technique to use, using large sunflowers or just large gerberas, or again if you have stems of lilies. It's a great bouquet, great technique when you're using a lot of large flowers, or again if you're using small flowers like say our Sweet William, but yet you want to make the bouquet look that bit bigger. So with these Sweet William, like again, there's a selection of colours and shades, and I'm not kind of like following any particular routine or any system. I'm allowing some of them to kind of like bounce up over the top of the bouquet, and I'm allowing some of them then just to kind of like be recessed or just kind of recessed down that little bit lower. So it just gives us a little bit of bounce. Look at the white there. So when Grania is growing the Sweet William, you'll see that it's just literally mixed. You know, it's not like all the white ones are together or all the purpley ones together. It's just mixed in the ground, and it's just like a carpet of colour. It's
and she was saying
beautiful.
It takes that she's actually planting now for next year's Sweet William.
I heard her saying that. It takes a year
for it to get to flowers. So like,
and like the price that she sells it, how would she make money? I don't know how she does it. Like, fair play to her. That's beautiful. That one I broke, but you could use that little bud phase. You know what I mean? Like, don't let anything go to waste. So is anyone watching?
Yeah, there's actually quite a few people watching, and the weather seems to be very good all around the country at the moment.
I think it was the summer solstice was on soon, wasn't it?
Yeah.
With the new moon or something. I know all these things kind of help to, you know, I mean, hopefully change the weather. It's been an absolute disaster, the summer so far. And again, you pity the kids, like, you know what I mean, they have their school holidays and, you know what I mean, like there's, no, you know, it's disaster for them trying to get out to play.
Somebody's asking about the gauge wire. Janette, what gauge wire is it for the...
15 gauge. 15 gauge wire is the gauge wire that we used. So I'm just going to add in some of these kind of like loops as well. So they're like the cordyline loops, and they're also beautiful to add into the back of the bouquet if you want, if you don't want to add in a lot of foliage, just for again for a bit of movement. You see the way you can add them into the back of it again, it's beautiful. And I know some of you might be wondering, what about tying it up? Like you can use your hand tied string for tying it up. And again, over on our YouTube channel, I have actually a full demonstration of making the hand tied strings, you know, that way, and the little technique, because I have a great little technique for doing them, for tying up the bouquets, that you can do it basically with one hand. Because you can see here, we've quite a lot of flowers.
Somebody's saying there about the Sweet William, that is it true that they last for 3 to 4 weeks?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Again, it depends on how fresh it is when you buy it. So as I said, if you're buying it direct from the growers, and there is other growers around the country, if you go on to the Irish Flower Farmers page, they have one on Facebook and they have one on Instagram, you'll get a list of the Irish Flower Farmers. Actually, I think we have one on our website, haven't we?
There is one on our website.
If you go to our website, www.caseflowerschool.com, we actually have a list of the Irish flower growers around Ireland. I think, well, we got the UK ones done as well.
I think there's a few of them there.
Evolve
over in the UK. Helen will be able to help anybody in the UK find a grower near them who grows British grown flowers.
So again, if anybody, maybe Noreen out there, if you can tag Evolve, EVOLVE, and that will be for anybody that's in the UK, and Helen will be able to help you over there, like, you know what I mean, on sourcing.
Somebody said that that it does Graco flowers sell eucalyptus, so she's trying to get it.
You won't get it at the moment when it's out of season. Depends obviously when you're, some people could be watching this video on the replay. So you won't get them when it's out of season. So during the months of, normally after Patrick's weekend, after Easter, right up till the end of August, that's when they cut it back and it's the growing season, and it's nearly impossible to get Irish or British grown eucalyptus. But from the end of August, September onwards, you'll absolutely have oodles of it. She has 500 eucalyptus trees. She has 6 different varieties of the eucalyptus. So again, if you're looking for the juveniles or the blue one, or the
baby blue, or
the highly scented ones, she has all them varieties. So again, get in touch with her.
And that's a question somebody says, that can you just drop into her?
No, you can't just, well, you can, but you can't just drop in and then just start picking your flowers. It is a wholesaler.
Yeah.
So contact her in advance. She normally says 1 to 2 days notice, so that she'll pick your flowers either the evening before or the morning of the day that you're collecting them. And you tell her that you're looking for 20 stems of Sweet William or 20 stems of Sweet Pea. Or again, depending on the time of year, you may actually have to ask her what has she got in stock at that particular time.
I know she was saying that with a lot of florists that she's been dealing with for a long time, she was saying that they just send her on the colour palette and she works out what she has in that palette to match.
Yeah, like I know a lot of our own past students, like, you know what I mean, they deal with her, like Flower Pop up in Inchicore,
yeah.
Like she would buy a lot of the Irish grown flowers off
Lisa Thurlow,
and she grows some flowers herself. She was actually telling me that she was raging. She missed it yesterday.
Right.
She was actually planning on going there too. So what they would do is they would send her the palette of the colours that the bride wants, the bride or the groom, what colour flowers that they're looking for. And basically Grania would then work the colour scheme around what happens to be in stock at that. Do you see that little trick there where you can slide something through and you can find it wherever it is? I don't think I'm going to need much more in that, you know, that way. So there you go. There would be a very wild, loose, informal bouquet. Something that you could use, you know, easy make yourself, using flowers out of your own garden. Obviously substitute for what you happen to have in stock. Like I really only have, 3 big flowers. Like the white peony, the pink one down low, and I have another big one out there. And then 3 smaller peonies. And after that, the rest of the flowers are just like smaller heads. So whether they be roses that you happen to have, or again, you actually brought me in some roses. I didn't use them. She did bring me in some roses for me to use. And you can see where we can see the frame, but it's part of it. And we just have that little bit of foliage at the back. And all I have to do now is tie it up with my hand-tied string, place it in water. Well, actually, I have to find somebody to give it to.
I'm sure we'll find somebody.
And there you have a beautiful bouquet that's highly scented. So again, I'd love if you popped over and supported Graw Cut Flowers. You'll only find her on Instagram. She's not on Facebook. Pop over, wish her a happy birthday, tell her hello, tell her that you've seen her flowers over on Case Flower School. And again, if you are looking for Irish grown flowers, give her a shout. But as I said, there's lots of other growers around the country. Again, if anybody is watching there and they have yet to still get the free link to our artificial program, or the free link, these are free classes for beginners, introduction to fresh flower arranging, for anyone that would like to experience what it's like to do an online class from the comfort of your own home, drop us an email here at the school and we'll send you on the free links. info@caseflowerschool.com. See you all soon. Thanks for joining.